We got some Big Deke breaking news on some recent Steelers roster moves. I'm a poet and didn't even know it. Big Deke news. A couple hours ago, the Steelers made 2 big-name roster cuts. Well, the phrase big name should be used loosely. It's more just relative to Steeler Nation. Like, we know who these guys are. Like, I don't got to pull out the Snoop meme whenever I name drop them. But around the league, yeah, I don't think they could really care less. But the Steelers cut wide receiver Hakeem Butler, or at least put him on injured reserve / waive. So I think if he clears waivers, he'll be on IR unless there's some type of injury settlement. So he's still technically around. And then also Cody White, same exact thing, waive / on IR. I don't know when these guys suffered injuries. Apparently Hakeem Butler couldn't suit up in Saturday's game against the Bills. And then Cody White, just randomly got this designation today. So I don't know what's up with those, but at the same time, I don't think either of these guys were making the roster. When you look at the wide receiver room, you got your top 4, hands down, already locked in. George Pickens, Robinson, Deontay Johnson, Calvin Austin. I'd even throw Gunner in the mix for the 5th. I think Gunner's a lock to make the team. So it really came down to that 6th receiver, and I'm feeling right now, even if Cody White and Hakeem Butler were still on the squad, that was going to go to Miles Boykin for his special teams play. And we already know he's a reliable receiver. I've never seen him drop a pass that was thrown to him yet. So yeah, those would be my 6. I don't even think White or Hakeem Butler were going to make the team. But in relation to these 2 cuts, the Steelers made some corresponding additions.
Who?
Man, I didn't even say the 2 new players' names yet. But first, wide receiver Aron Cruikshank.
Who?
And also linebacker Kuoy Deng.
Who?
But with these 2 signings, Cruikshank, the receiver, did some good things at Rutgers. 99 receptions, 868 yards, 5 touchdowns, 28 games. Actually, whenever you put it that way, 868 yards, 5 touchdowns, 28 games. That's not that much productivity. He's viewed more as a return specialist anyway. So that would be his role or his way to somehow make the team for the Steelers. And then with Deng, he's interesting because he's like 6'5", 6'6" as a linebacker. I was watching some of his highlights. He looks like an Isaiah Simmons out there. The problem is he's not as athletic as one of those dudes. Like, he tested kind of poorly in the athletic department, but for his size, that's what makes him an intriguing prospect. But he got picked up by the Falcons last year. He ended up getting cut, but then the Bears picked him up on practice squad and then signed a futures contract through this offseason. But then just recently, the Bears released him, and we picked him up. So I have a couple conspiracy theories for these 2 signings, though. Put the tinfoil hats on. One for the return specialist guy, Aron Cruikshank. Are we just bringing him in for the 3rd preseason game to give Calvin Austin a seat so we don't put Austin more on display for the rest of the league so he could be a little bit more of a secret weapon when the regular season rolls around? And then with Deng, I'm wondering, is there more to the Nick Kwiatkowski injury than what's being let on? Because I'm assuming we won't see Kwiatkowski against the Falcons. Like, Deng could be at least a guy we know we could put out there in the 4th quarter so we're not risking injury for any of the guys that are already going to make the squad at linebacker. But, yeah, I just wonder. It just makes me a little bit curious. Hopefully Kwiatkowski's okay. But aside from all that, let me just say this. Add both these guys to the giveaway list. That would make the prize pool now up to $900 total dollars. Because I'm looking at this more and more. You look at the depth chart, man. I already talked about Hakeem Butler and Cody White. What makes you think Cruikshank is going to be making the team over the 6 receivers I already mentioned? And then with Deng, same thing with the linebackers. We got 6 linebackers that I would say are a definitive to make the team over someone like Deng, who we literally just picked up a couple hours ago. I'm talking Tanner Muse, and this is the bottom of the depth chart. Tanner Muse, also Nick Kwiatkowski. But then you have the top 4 in Quan Alexander, Mark Robinson, Landon Robertson, Cole Holcomb. I don't see it. So add these guys to the list. I think the total is up to, is it 8 players or 9 players? I don't know. I'll put the list up as I'm talking right now. But yeah, those are the guys I don't think are going to be making the team, at least the recent free agent acquisitions that we just made. This has been a running tally. Obviously, those that have been watching Big Deke News up to this point know what I'm talking about right now. But that's it for this edition of Big Deke News on a Monday. Bonus episode today, second one of the day. Let me know your thoughts on these two new signings and also us cutting Hakeem Butler and Cody White. Stay chilling. Hope you enjoyed, and peace.